Hello, house. Good afternoon, all. Hello.
Hello, good afternoon, Ambrose.
Yeah, good afternoon. Yeah, I want quickly just pray for us. Let somebody pray for us as usual.
Let us pray. A'udhu billahi minash shaitani rajim. Bismillahir rahmanir rahim. Alhamdulillahi rabbil alamin. Ar-Rahmanir Rahim. Maliki yawmiddin. Iyyaka na'budu wa iyyaka nasta'in. Ihdina siratal mustaqim. Siratal ladzina an'amta 'alaihim ghayril maghdubi 'alaihim waladdallin. Amen.
Amen. Amen. Thank you very much. God bless you, sir. Yeah. As usual, before we start our discussion, please, I want to plead again. Last session, we experienced a reduced noise making. Please mute your mic, please. When you want to ask question, mute yourself so that it won't affect other that is either talking or ask questions one after the other, please. Let's avoid noise in this forum so that we're able to assimilate and absorb as many we can get from the class, please. Yes, before I start class today, I want to ask a question. And this question, I need answer from all the participants in the class today. And my question is, what is the difference between investing in a regulated sector or a non-regulated sector? What is the difference in investing in that sector? We know there are sectors in the market anywhere outside Nigeria that are well regulated, and others are not regulated. What is the difference between investing in this sector that's regulated and the other side? Please, I need answer before we continue. You can hello? Are you there?
We can hear you. We can hear you, Ambrose.
Yeah, I'm expecting an answer. I've asked a question. I said, what is the difference in investing in a well-regulated sector and the other one that are not regulated? What is the difference? As an investor, what have you seen is the difference between investing in a well-regulated sector and others that are not regulated? From your own angle, feel free and interact so that we can share knowledge before we go into market review and others.
Yes, please, can I talk?
Well, freedom, you are good. Open house.
Yeah, good day, everybody.
Yeah.
I think for a sector that is regulated, you have the government backing, and it helps to curb market infractions and abuse. And when you see there are abuse or infractions, there are ways or process through which you can in whatever way you feel you are being cheated, or you feel they are not following laid down procedure. But for all regulated markets, that means anybody can do anything and is prone to abuse, and you don't have anybody to report to. See, that's my own. That's the way I look at it.
Yeah, thank you very much. That's a good one. Okay, we need more. We need more.
Yeah. Okay, Ambrose.
Yeah.
Good afternoon, everyone.
Good afternoon.
When you say market is regulated, there's control.
Yeah.
Guideline lays down rules and regulation, which if number one not to give room to manipulations and dubious acts.
Okay.
So once a sector is regulated, take for instance the banking sector, which is highly regulated.
Okay.
Most times they try as much as possible to reduce or minimize or even eliminate the issue of manipulations, the issue of cutting corners and others. Once they know that once they are caught, there's every chances that either their licenses are withdrawn or they are made to face the penalty. But when the market is not regulated, anything goes.
Okay.
Anything goes in that, because at that particular time is determinant by the prevailing circumstances at that time, at that particular time. That's what determines what will happen.
Okay. Good one. Yeah, thank you. I need more for than the comment. I want to comment so that it will open our eyes to see the benefit of also investing in the well-regulated sector and the non-regulated sector. They have two different benefits, and I want us to share more. Two people are just
hello, Ambrose.
Yeah. Okay.
Ambrose.
Hello.
Can you hear me?
Yes, go ahead, sir.
Can you hear me?
Yes, go ahead.
My understanding is that the regulated sectors are those that have primary regulators apart from the NGX and the SEC. So whenever they need to do something, they have to still go back to those primary regulators like NICOM, CBN, and others. While those ones that don't have these primary regulators, they are more freedom. They have more freedom. Like MTN now, they release their results long ago because they don't require any primary regulator to still go through their results. So that is how I understand on it.
Okay, that's a good one too. Yeah, thank you very much. More before I will just put something down before we now start our review and what we have for today. I need another answer to you. Have 3 people ready. You can make it 4 or 5 so that we can draw the curtain there and then move ahead. I know why I answered this question, and when I start discussing, you will see the reason why. Your hand is up, Mr. Emma. Yes, I can see very well. Yeah, go ahead and answer and give your answer. I'm very free. Hello. Hello. Okay. Hey, yeah, ma. Yeah, ma. Yeah. Yeah, go ahead and answer your question. Mr. Peter, hand is up. Answer your question. Feel free to answer your question. Mr. Peter, your hand is up. Answer
okay. Okay, so when you say a market is regulated, you are clearly stating that there are rules and regulations that guide every action and practices in that sector, and that any breach of it may attract penalties. And the advantage of it is that so that people are not unduly exploited, either the buyers or the sellers are not duly exploited. And apart from that, the regulators will also watch the rules they've put in place. And if it's creating bottlenecks or creating issues, then they review it from time to time and set new rules and regulations to guide the practices and actions of the people that are participating in such a market. That's my understanding.
Yeah. Okay, Mr. Eyela Akushi. Yeah, go ahead, sir. Sorry for calling your name that we are very fit to. Your hand is up already. Go ahead and provide an answer so that I can just conclude this session and let you. Okay. Yes, from this angle, I want to come. You all are correct, I would say, because any regulated market infraction are reduced. But now I'm referring to a sector, and also when a sector is overregulated, there is an advantage to it. In our market today, or anywhere in the world, where you see a sector that is overregulated, actions or movement of stocks or price of those stocks in that sector are also indirectly regulated. Why do I say so? Let's come back home. He mentioned insurance and the banking sector. In Nigeria today, no bank will release the result, even when the board of directors have recommended what they want to pay you and I as dividend. They have to go to another level of confirmation to give credit whether they should go ahead and pay that or not. For that sector payment is not dependent on the performance of the company or the numbers alone. Also, you need another authority to go ahead and pay. For example, he mentioned MTN. MTN released the results on time. Not only that, they announced the dividend, they put action immediately. What we saw in Nigeria Brewery also tells you that also they've announced to get their dividend. And also, if you look at what happened in UCAP yesterday, UCAP number is very fantastic number. I agree with you. But I will tell you, if UCAP will be, in the banking sector, a company that is having 1 naira 88 kobo cannot pay you 1 naira 50 kobo dividend, because the regulator will want this company to retain more for their future goals. But because as UCAP are a well-run and managed company, and also they are making money, they can pay what they want if their directors, their directors recommend and their shareholders approve. It tells you that even when you are making your investment decision, yes, you can also balance your portfolio. Sector that you are looking for dividend, which some sector I know that if they try to pay me even 100% of their earnings, nobody will ask them. You see all those foreign companies that let me call them multimedia or multi-international company in Nigeria, that especially Nestle. Look at Nestle, look at Nigeria, look at Guinness, look at Unilever, look at all these companies that are run by most foreign investors as major shareholders. they pay more than even 80%, 50% of their earnings, 80% almost at their dividend. But the banking sector cannot try such. Insurance cannot try such because what? Because of what? They are regulated. That means if you are even planning your portfolio as individual and you are a dividend income investor, there are some kind of companies that you should put your money if you are looking for dividend, because they can grow their dividend. I'm telling you also, if Vitafoam is also in banking sector, they will not allow Vitafoam to pay even from 70 go to that 150 again, because they are regulated. They want the regulator want us to believe that the people there are protected, not that also to show that they are also doing their work. That's why they are there. For me, as an investor, also for us that are in this house, this is the work we also put in place when we are planning our portfolio, especially if you are a dividend income investor. Yes, for those like us that are traders also, you enter stock that you just find opportunity, be able to start, pick, identify it on time, a new trend, you jump in, or they have information, you jump in, you don't have issue. You can trade any stock, either banking stock, but when it comes to dividend payment, some companies are not free to pay what they want to pay, despite they have the earnings that support that payment because of what they are regulated. That means also the other side is that a well-regulated sector, like they mentioned earlier, that infraction, all those kind of things cannot happen there. At the same time, they are protecting you as an investor. That's why anywhere in the world, you see foreign investors, when they are coming into the country for investment, they look at what they look at the bank first. Why? The bank is well regulated, and also bank is an engine room of any economy. But that is where they want to look first before they look elsewhere. On that note, there's benefit for a company being a startup being regulated. There's also the benefit of not being regulated. That means you as an investor or trader, you have to balance it. Because I tell you, if foreign investors are entering to Nigeria today, the first way they want to look at what the banking sector. Why? You know that sector is well regulated. Their money is protected to a level because most things will not happen because of the regulators and all this. For that, that's why as an investor to balance it. I want to thank you all. You all provided excellent answer. Thank you. Yes, before we go into strategy of dividend investing, it's also a strategy. Before I go into there, I want to also look at the market performance briefly before we go into that strategy. If you look at the market performance from the
Ambrose, I want to make two comments on this very particular issue. Yes, my advice is not that regulated or not regulated. If you look at the telecom, it's regulated. Today, they want to even do 5G until they are permitted to start. It's regulated. The oil sector is regulated. Even the UCAP is regulated. If they want to introduce a product, they will go to SEC. SEC will give them permission. But what I want you to understand, there is a risk element in paying dividend. For those very particular banking sectors, is because their working capital is money. And knowing fully what the risk element concerned with this banking sector and the insurance sectors, the regulator want to be cautious to make sure all the necessary anticipated risk has been taken care of. Because if they don't do it, trust the shareholder, they can inflate the profit, put the profit beyond what is reasonable, declare dividend. After a few years, the bank will collapse. Well, everybody has taken his money and beyond. So the regulators are very conscious of that. And that is why they say, look, you cannot. For instance, let me give you an example. UBA will do very well, but they will not be able to pay high dividend. Why? Because they have about 17 branches across those countries. CBN will say, okay, you have made a profit in Cameroon. How much of the profit have you brought into Nigeria? If they say zero, they say then you cannot pay dividend. It's not enough to make profit in other jurisdictions. How much of the profit were you allowed to transfer it back into Nigeria? So if you cannot be allowed to transfer back into Nigeria, then you cannot pay dividend from the profit you make somewhere else. So these are some of the guidelines, and therefore the investors should be very interesting. Dividend is not the only thing for investing in any stock. First and foremost, is their performance turnover is going high? Is there a profit before tax and profit after tax? Is there any futuristic investment that the company want to do?
Yes.
We have seen it before. When Vitafor was not regulated, but they were reinvesting their profit into acquiring Bono. Today, look at what Vitafor is doing. We have seen the profit made by Presco, but instead of sharing in, they went ahead and acquired Nigeria. So some companies, they are not regulated, but they want to reserve their profit for the future. I have seen the profit declared by UCAP, 1 naira 87 kobo. If you declare 1 naira 87 kobo and you pay 1 naira 50 kobo, what is your dividend margin? Your dividend margin is very high. And what it means that if there is any unfortunate next year and you are unable to pay that, you will not be able to sustain the dividend. And sustainability of the dividend is what the investors should be very cautious, not what you declare today. We have seen what Mayor did. Mayor paid 1 naira 67 kobo. But what is the price of Mayor? 60 kobo. Because there is nothing to show for Mayor that they can pay a similar dividend next year. So investors must be aware. Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir. I appreciate you for that explanation. Yes, as I was saying, if you look at the market performance for the week under review, we saw a mixed trend and also like a lukewarm market, very quiet. But in between the market, we are seeing volatility, in the stocks and also in the index action. It tells you that market is waiting for a trigger. And we can see that the triggers are gradually now coming up in the market. You saw what happened in UCAP yesterday. You saw what happened when Nigeria Bureau to release their dividend to the market. These corporate actions and the strength of the numbers will determine how far the market will go into the future, especially those that do not release their unaudited account that we're expecting between now and end of the month or early March to release their audited account with their corporate action. If this corporate action comes with a good payout ratio, I'm going to tell you that that's going to be another drive. Also, we want to look at post-pandemic shift. Look at 2020, when there's pandemic, look at what the company's numbers were looking like. 2021, look at what the company numbers are looking like. And also look at the rate, also the economy is recovering. Yes, GDP figures were released during the week. I saw that even it was positive, there's a decline compared to the previous quarter. And if you look at the first quarter GDP, it tells that it is this 2020, we'll now see that the base effect of those negative had before will gradually fizzle out. Then we'll now see where the economy is going. And don't forget that anywhere in the world, yes, capital market is a leading indicator, but what is happening in the economy also is a strength or a support to what is happening in the capital market or the equity market. On that note, we are seeing that yes, our economy has maintained recovering. That's why it's still weak and still shaking. But I'm telling you, we are maintaining that recovery is a plus for the market. And also seeing the unaudited account of quoted companies, even before the GDP, we know that the GDP will be in a positive one, which is expected, and we have seen it. Now that we're entering already in the first quarter of 2022, and we're seeing these numbers rolling in here and there, I'm telling you, this is what the market is waiting for. We have seen the unaudited before now. Now we're seeing the audited account to tell you how far the market will go from here. But I always say that don't be carried away with what the market direction at any time. Why? Because there are many investors in the market and many also traders in the market with different investment objective or goal. And if an investor has entered a particular position and has a goal for a profit target to achieve, and when he gets there, he's bound to sell. That will not say because he's selling you too much, because you enter at different price, and also you have different purpose in being in that position. For example, those that are invest data buy and sell signal, when we met our target of 12 naira, and that is about 42 to 41% return on UCAP. I say we should sell. Yes, and when seeing the number coming, we saw a good payout. That does not stop people that are income investor. That's why I'm going to discuss dividend strategy in this class today. Income investor not buying, because income investor, most of them are long-term investors. Why traders like you and I that comes to master class, this one were to go in and out. Now that you are seeing that the result is very good, and you didn't sell all of your UCAP, you still go. But if you have sold that you want to come back, nothing stop it, because if you want to become an income investor, but because of what you saw, the 150 people, but that will not affect your strategy. All you that let your goal what guide you. Don't say because the stock price is going on, let me jump. Also, when the market is volatile, and I tell you that any season is more volatility than direction, and we want to see that from next week, as numbers are coming, the ones that do not meet market expectation, market will treat you where you belong to. The one that meet expectation, market will react positively, and for that, this position will remain either in the NGX index action or individual stocks on the exchange. But that will not say because stock is oscillating, that means you should run out of the market. No, it is when you are seeing a volatile market that you should play more with your stop loss. Those that are on the life class every day, and at the end of stop loss and what emotion. Remove emotion in what you are doing in equity investment. Remove what emotion. Put your stop loss first, and your profit target. That will help you. If market go against your direction, once you touch your stop loss, you will need to move to another stock so that you can make money in that position. That is how to go about investment in this period. There's no need for you to panic at all. And I said the market, just lost marginally 0.13. And you know why? Because people are waiting for what? A trigger, looking for expectation. But now they have seen, look at the volume traded for the week under review. It's far higher than what we saw the previous week. We have about 1.71 billion share traded this week compared to 1.33 billion traded last week. It tells you that gradually people are also increasing their stake in their play. They're doing what we call accumulation in some stock that they have seen that here there's potential that good dividend will come out at the end of the day. Like Alaji said, we are not only investing in equity for dividend, capital appreciation, bonus, and other board. It is your investment goal will guide you what you should do when you are in this market. Don't be carried away by market up and down movement. No, at all time, market was delayed. Anywhere in the world, no market will remain in up direction. But because also we are in a pre-election year, I will tell you that the factor that will drive market oscillation this year is this company performance, and also when we are getting uncertainties towards the year, and also economic policy that will come from either the CPN or all these are the things that will drive the volatility we are going to see this year before going to the more proper election year. On that note, if you are in any position, let your go guide. Don't be carried away because volatility will continue. Don't say because it is anything. No, it will continue after the earnings season. You see one policy or that. By God's grace, in the month of March, we'll be seeing CBN will be meeting their MPC meeting. Don't know they come out with their policy. Also, it is that another information will come them out. But as a trader, investor, be guided with your stop loss. That is why we must always emphasize it. Once you have your stop loss and you do emotion in your decision, I'm telling you, you'll be on the winner side, which is small, and then anytime you make loss, then your loss will be small compared to your winning side. Once that is done, you are good to go in this market. Yes, today I want to look at dividend strategy, investing or dividend investing. I will tell you that this is the most popular strategy and powerful strategy that most people use, and it gives superior return to the market depending on your investment objective. The strategy is beyond just looking at dividend yield, but focus on 4 things I'm going to mention. If you are doing dividend investing, you focus on dividend growth, because it is when the company is going to dividend that it will appeal to you as investor or trader that price will go up. It is when they announce this dividend there's a growth, it will impact their price. And they can't grow their dividend if the earnings are not moving in that direction. That's why anytime you are looking at company earnings, you look at the company cash flow and the earnings. Are they maintaining the same direction, looking up? Or if the company earnings is going up and cash flow is going down, you have to be very, very careful, because this thing will determine whether they will grow their dividend in the next section or the next year, depending on how the company has performed, because nobody will give you what they don't have. It is what they have done they can give to you. That is why you must look at dividend growth of the company. Also, the payout ratio is key. Like I say, don't look at dividend. Dividend can be there because the company price is not going up or it's going down, and the price is going down. You see, no, that's why you don't focus on dividend yield alone. You look at also the company retained earnings. That is key, because if the company has good retained earnings and they are also growing their performance, it will be addition for them to also say they are paying good dividend. But if the company earnings is not there, please, you have to very careful. Even though the one they are growing their dividend, you have to very careful. That means you are just eating to run. But we need sustainability, as Elijah have said. A company consistency in paying their dividend is very key. That is why you see the banking sector, that's why they are over-regulated. I tell you, that sector is the most consistent dividend paying sector in the economy, in Nigeria market today, because even though it's small, but they come regularly. Others, it is when they have done well, they can pay you, and even if they didn't do well, you beat them. But for this sector, they are checked and it come regularly, because it's also another way of knowing whether a company or a bank is healthy or not. These are the last one is that look at the outstanding numbers of the numbers of share of the company. Because I tell you, in a family that they have 12 children, if you kill one chicken, compared to a family that has 30 children, the one that has 12 children, if you kill one chicken, it won't go round. But the one that has just 3, because everybody will eat after that. So that's why If a company shares is enlarged, they won't pay you dividend that is robust, because if that's going to be kind of a problem for the company. That is why they are sharing. But those companies that have small share in issue, example of them is this cap we are seeing. Look at like stock like Total, like Nestle, their share in issue is small and they can afford to pay good dividend. But those that also their own is large, they are still paying reasonable one, fine. But I tell you, look at company what outstanding numbers of share. It's very, very key to know whether this company will be able to sustain that payout. Once they're able to sustain it, yes, you can plan with the company for what, because these are the factors also that help us that are trader. So that is why I say we call them fundamental news that the chart will always represent. When it comes to the market, yesterday I don't need to know whether the result of UCAP, but when market open, I saw a green chart, boom, I say something is on that way. That tells you that you don't need to look for volatile in the evening, they announce their dividend. And then when you touch our position, our target, I said, go, sell. But now that I've seen that the dividend is fine, those that are income investor, nothing stop you for entering your position, or if you are not there before, you can buy for the dividend couple, knowing that if they mark down, if the company maintain this tempo of numbers that we are seeing, this performance is going to go a long way to support what their number going to the future. These are the way to invest. These are the things you look at when investing. What dividend tells about a company? I want to also take you to that angle. What dividend tells about a company? Because when a company is paid dividend, it sends signal. It tells something. It gives an indication of what the company is or what the company is not. Because that's another way of, apart from using other indicators, other financial ratios to know when a company is paying dividend, it tells you another story about the company. One, that it also supports the share price of the company to rally up when their dividend is coming regularly. But when the company's dividend is low, the price will go high. But when they are going their dividend, you see the market will always react. And for that, the price will remain up because they are also growing their earnings. Because if your earnings is looking up, you can equally grow your dividend. But when your earnings is flat or it's not going, you can't grow your dividend because you're not going to borrow to pay. For that, this is why earnings also is very important. And that's why I said that every time that trading earnings season is key. Because at any season, everybody wants to adjust his portfolio, be ready to see the number, position ahead of the number. That is why that period you see a lot of increased liquidity in the market, increase the momentum, increase positive sentiment or negative, depending on the number that I'm writing from the company. That means you as an investor, you need to look at these things. Once you look at these things I'm just mentioning now, it will guide you or for you to inform the kind of decision you will take at that particular time. That is why the price is moving because dividend is supporting price. Another one, it tells you about is the state of the company. Is this company healthy or not? When the company is paying dividend, they tell that the company is healthy, and also the management style of the company. Because we have seen what happened in UCAP. Tell you for the last 2 or 3 years, UCAP are continuing to put their dividend. The numbers are coming up. Also their dividends are coming up. It tells also the style of management to have in UCAP. Or are they the kind of people that they want to pay all they have, or they are still okay? They are expanding their business left and right because they are making more money. They want to pay out. Because when a company is making more money, having more cash inflow, and they know that what they're making, is more than what they need to expand their business, they can't pay dividend. But less what they need, it's not enough. That's why they can retain. But if what they're making, their cash flow is increasing, and it is more than what they need to grow their business, they will still pay dividend and also be expanding because they are making more money, they're having more cash flow. And that is another one. Then, the third one, it signals a company that has that generates more cash flow than it needs to retain. I tell you that these are another way that this company is healthy. If all these are at the back of your mind, I'm telling you, if you are investing dividend, you want to look at these things I've just said now, it will guide you to know what is happening. And you want to also look at your chart. Why I look at the chart? Because whether a company dividend is good, it's going to reflect on the chart. That's why I said anything we are doing in the market, that's why people say, for me, I say forget news and trade chart or trade price action. Because whatever happens in the market, if you go to your chart any moment, it will tell you that this is happening because it will also guide you what to do and what the direction. That's why you need to always be guided with your candlestick at all times. Make sure that you know how to use this candlestick. I will be teaching it on this platform. Also, those that attend the seminar and also that got the material, study it very well. And I'm telling you, it's going to go a long way to guide you and help you make informed decisions so that you know at the top, you know the support, you know when to enter. Like those that had the what we call profitable investing with the any season. I told you what we call value area. When a stock is within the value area, it's about to break up or down. You enter before you break up, and when you break up and thoroughly, you hold your position because you know the date the earnings is coming. That's why if you are a trader in this market, you don't just stay one side. You combine every information you have to trade successfully, and that is how to stay ahead of the market. And on that note, I will draw the curtain on market review now so that we can start asking our question on what to do, because looking at earnings that came, the first one that came from UCAP, I'm telling you that the number is, well, I said earlier, is very fantastic. A company that grew their top line with about 40.32%, moving from 12.87 to about 18.07 billion in just 1 year is good. And I'll tell you that this ratio that came from UCAP in terms of their top line and bottom line is above the normal standard anywhere in the world. Go and check all the standard to know income that is doing well. Even in best data, it's when the company earnings is growth for 3 years or a year is above 15% up and plus. These are the going to now. UCAP is posting top line of 40.32% growth. It's fantastic. Look at their bottom line, which is the profit after tax, move from 7.81 billion to 11.26. That is 44.1%. I'll go quickly look at the earning per share that determines what's come to you as dividend. That's why for me, in any analysis, I first of all look at what the top line and the bottom line. Whether dividend or whether it's a tax adjustment, there is expenses, because you have factored them in before you get to a profit after tax. I'll go profit after tax to tell me exactly what is happening in that company. For UCAP to have 11.26 profit after tax, say that they are taking care of other taxes from about a top line of 18.07 billion. For me, is good. And if you don't know that this company is well run, easy to know. Profit after profit margin, that means in every 1 naira they made in their gross profit, gross earnings or turnover or revenue, they are retaining about 62 kobo. In every 1 naira, 62 kobo is retained as a profit. For me, coming to have a 62.31 profit margin is good anywhere in the world. It tells you that UCAP is well run and well managed. That means this kind of company, if we have more in Nigeria, I'll tell you, investors in Nigeria will be very happy, because if you look at dividend yield alone, as at yesterday 12, it's about 12.5. It is good for any investment. That tells you that you need to look at companies that have similar traits in the market. Like I always say that every stock in the market has different characteristics and have different future, the way they behave, and they have their time to rally. If you are in the market, look at other stocks that have the same characteristic and also that have different direction that you can also look at and take position. Look at stock like Fixing, they showing that direction. Look at the industry where it is. Look at the kind of product line they have in Fixing. Look at what their earnings are compared to the previous year. Is it possible that they go their payout? Look at what happened in Presco. No, look at all these things and see, would they be able to pay? Presco, yes, no, we know that they are trying to acquire like 100%, to take over from Fiat in Nigeria, in Port Harcourt. Yes, if a company is having about 18 naira, 87 earnings per share, and they pay you 1 naira interim, for me, even though they're going to use 10 naira to buy what they want to buy at the retained earnings, they can call that pay good dividend. That means if you want to position for dividend, look at the numbers we have seen for those that are unaudited account, and also look at those that have not their third quarter, they're not really unaudited, to guide you on where to put your money for dividend. Because I'm telling you, this market, the way it is, despite the way we are hearing or the up and down movement we are seeing in international market because of geopolitical tension, and also because of hike in rates in US. I told my colleagues in the office that yes, if the hike rate in US, we agree it will affect the market, but not as much, because their role here, the kind of portfolio they have in Nigeria, is not as huge as before. That when they are going out, our markets will be leading. But now that they have institutional investors, local institutional investors, and many portfolio managers that have taken their position and playing this market, those who they are investors also for the future, for dividend. PFA that recorded as the best PFA in 2021. Most of them are those that play much in equity, and they want to just abandon the market and run away. That means they understand how to play our equity market. For me, this is time for us to watch the market. Don't be carried away with either you have made profit or not. Guide where the market is going. Watch very well so that you know when to exit. Do not allow greed to keep in the market. At that time, you start complaining. Set a reasonable target between 20 to 25, max 30, 32, fine. But if the whole can give you 50%, I'm not against it. It's fine. I'm all right with that. But you need to know when to go cash also, so that when there's any opportunity, you see cash to enter. Because most people, when they're investing, even when there's an opportunity to sell the one they want to sell, because there's no money, always balance your portfolio. Have a little money to wait to put so that when opportunity open, you can see what to trade in another opportunity. For me, the market is very, very strong at this point, because it has refused to break down the 47,000 mark, which tells you that market is waiting for something. And I said comment now, more will see the corporate action next week, the end of the month and end of the quarter, determine where the market was. Expect volatility within this period. Market was delayed. That is why don't joke with your word. your stop loss. Thank you. Question or any addition to the market review, you are free to add to it. Thank you all. Hello.
Hello, Ambrose.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for the analysis. Let me just add one or two things to what you have said.
Go ahead.
Also, the crude oil market is bullish right now.
Yes.
I think yesterday it closed about $93 per barrel, which is in favor of oil selling countries like Nigeria, because of the tension between Ukraine and Russia, yes, which no one can actually tell what it is going to be the outcome. Russia is not backing down. They have about 100,000 soldiers at the border between them and Ukraine, and they said they don't want Ukraine to join NATO. And America also, they are threatening that they're going to be economic sanction, where they have to cut off gas pipeline from Russia to the European countries. So obviously, that's automatically is favoring OPEC and OPEC Plus in that direction, yes, and which is impacting in our market. Then the area of what you talked about, the increase in rates in the US, obviously that one is going to be an issue, but it's not going to affect our own market, because our market is predominantly local players. The PFAs, they have devised method of, because the area of income from bonds and others is not really doing very well this time around. So one of the best ways to get kind of a good return is the capital market. And they themselves are a little bit wary, because government is just borrowing. And the government now prefer borrowing internationally because the interest rate is cheaper compared to borrowing the local market. So most of these funds are now finding their way into the stock market for in the short run. Yeah. And we all remember that this year is an election year, pre-election year. In fact, it's this year that we actually know election is by, I think, next year, February, according to INEC guideline. Yeah. Timetable, yes. So we should still have that at the back of your mind. So that's my own contribution concerning that.
Thank you very much.
I have a question.
Okay.
My question there is that suddenly yesterday we discovered that Honeywell was scarce in the market, and it rose about 9.8% or something in the market. I don't know what happened. And although I was watching Flour Mill is equally going up, and looking at Boa Food, which is in the same industry in that area, I think there's a gap between Boa Food and Flour Mill. So I would like you to really address the issue of the Honeywell in that regard.
Thank you very much. Yeah. So answer your question, in this forum or in this class, we've been discussing Honeywell for a long time, starting from the first master class, the contribution throughout the year. We have seen opportunity, we have made money. But I always say that if you have made money in Honeywell, you can exit. If you want to buy, you can buy, because we know that it's not the earnings of UCAP that is pushing the price. Is the kind of I call it also fundamental, because when there's merger and acquisition, there's way to influence price, and because people want to take advantage of the news. And another news already is coming around the market, which also people are hearing. Then there might likely be also, either they do ratio 5 for 1, 5 for 7, no, depending on what or they pay us, they pay minority investor out. On that note, as the news is coming to the market, people are reacting. But if you are in Honeywell at this point, I would say you should hold your position. Let's see, but also don't be carried because there is kind of what I call it momentum investing now, because there's pressure on that stock now. People want to buy, and your target, you want to extend it, you want to adjust to move. No, if you meet your target, you equally also exit the position. Don't be carried. They always say don't be carried the market direction. Once you are entering the stock, you have set a goal target. Yes, because you'll be exiting gradually. I call it taking your profit slowly. But don't just be carried away because it's going up. No. Yes, people that buy low sell high. People that also buy at high also sell higher, because it depends on where it's going. But don't be carried away because of the demand now, the kind of big situation we're seeing more buyer than seller in case of Honeywell will make you say no, that I will have to stay put. No, once you meet your target, you are in the market to make money. These are the news that are driving stock. And also, don't forget that the flour mills also, with all this acquisition of Honeywell, already in Northern Nigeria flour mill, they put all this together. That flour mill is becoming like a giant in industry. Even it can compete favorably with with the Wafu that got listed newly, because they are put in the market and they have the market already. We also have the market, but I believe with this arrangement on what's it called, Flower is making, they want to make that good share of the market is in their control. Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much, Ambrose. Please, 1 minute. With the one of what was this police microfinance? I bought they did right issue, and I don't know what's the outcome result, because I've not even seen what I paid for. I mean, when MTN that just came out in December have already allocated, and people are even selling already. So, what's happening with that police microfinance?
You can see the difference between analog and and the new analog we have before and the new technology that is on. MTN was on the online thing, they created online, but I think that one was your normal way of doing your right issue. But that's notwithstanding. I learned that the right issue was successful, and also you can see that the number for unlimited account was positive. I said it earlier in this class that for that company to post around 42 kobo any per share for full year, even if it's not audited, even when audited, they can have around 32 or even 40. They can afford to pay you that 25 kobo, knowing that they are a good dividend paying company. If you are there, just start patient and hope, because I believe the was one of the companies that are consistent dividend paying company in the market. For me, I would advise you go your position, unless you have met your target. Once you have achieved your goal of entering that stock, nothing stops you for exiting.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome, sir.
Yeah, okay, Ambrose. With this fantastic performance by UCAP and the current price, how far do you see the stock going, and can one still take position? Thank you.
Yeah, welcome, sir. Yes, for income investor, nothing stops you for buying UCAP, because I said earlier that when you are looking at a company, that things you look at that also attract you. The figure they posted was fantastic, and the payout ratio was very encouraging. For a store that's selling below 15 naira, paying you 1 naira 50 kobo automatically until you get to 15 naira, that is where you have 10% yield. That means anybody that want to take that percent, you can buy the stock at this price, and also at getting to that 15, then even though at 14, even though surpass that 15, but you can buy if you're an income investor. For a trader too that want to go back, no problem. But I believe if you have made money in this stock, you go to another stock that we're expecting a similar kind of move in that stock and position. But for those that are income investors, dividend paying, I would advise you can go back and enter, or if you're not there, you can also go and buy into UCAP because of their dividends. But not only that, they show strength that these numbers that come from UCAP are consistent. Unless something change where their line of business. But for me, I see that Q1 also coming out powerfully. I've seen the previous year. Hello, sir.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, sir. Yeah.
Hello, Ambrose. Good afternoon.
Yeah, good afternoon, sir.
Thank you for your market review. Quite elucidating. Yeah, thank you very much. I don't know whether you have any information about Africa Alliance Insurance.
Africa Alliance. As we speak now, I don't have information on that company. Even their fundamental, their earnings and all those. No, I don't have information now on that stock.
Okay.
Yeah, welcome, sir.
Okay, Mr. Ambrose.
Good
afternoon, sir. Yeah. Afternoon. Please, let's talk about this Africa Prudential. Can we still take position there? Is their stock financials coming out or something like that?
Yes, if you are in Africa Prudential, I would advise you also hold your position. With what we saw in UCAP, they are the same family. Yes, we know that they have been lacking behind now before this number came. But I tell you, from what the performance we've seen in their last third quarter, they can afford to pay a dividend of either 60 kobo or 65 kobo. If they make it 70 kobo, fine. But if you're in that stock, I would advise you hold to see their number and how market will react to it. But if you are not expecting dividend like the way you've seen in UCAP, no, because your numbers will determine what you pay. They've been lacking behind the UCAP in terms of performance. For that, their payout will also be the same. But if you're in the stock and they pay anything above 70 kobo, wood, they might rally to around that 70 or 8 naira. That means at least 6 naira, 6 naira, 80 kobo or 660. It's a good one for you to also buy and watch. Yeah. But
Hello, Ambrose.
If you're already there, just hold your position in Africa Prudential and wait for the result. Hello, sir.
Hello, Mr. Ambrose.
Yeah, good afternoon, sir.
Yeah, good afternoon. While you were talking, Alhaji Kofi alluded to UBA possible good performance. I don't know whether there's further insights you can give or Alhaji can give on that.
Yeah, I would say on UBA, I'll tell you, if you look at the numbers as a third quarter, UBA performance is okay to pay good dividend. And at the end of their board meeting on Tuesday, market reacted positively. Later, it started coming down. Don't know what has happened, but I will tell you that UBA at the end of this financial year ended, we are not expecting anything less than $1 from the UBA, together with what they are paid, as interim from the number, because it comes out almost $3 something. Even at the end of this, fourth quarter, if you look at the results that came from most of the banking stock that are little unheated, their Q4 was what even also impacted their performance. That means if that will go around for most of the bank, that means their fourth quarter will also support them. For that, I don't see UPA from almost $3 that Tukobo they're having at the third quarter, they're having like $4 paying anything less than $1. That $1 means that 80 kobo can be pay their final dividend in addition to, and if they make it 120, good for all of us in the market. But I don't see UBA paying anything less than. Also, like I just said, it is also the CPN that the board might also recommend that $1 or 120, and the CPN say no, go back and pay this. That's why I said in any regulated sector, the advantage and the disadvantage. It depends on what the CPN approve. They have sent their result already to CPN, waiting for CPN approval. For me, let's just suppose I said UBA will not pay what they did last year at 35 kobo. No, on the numbers we are seeing, we're spending less than $1 altogether with the interim from UBA.
Okay, thank you. Can I ask?
Hello, Mr. Ambrose.
Yeah.
Hello, sir.
Hello, ma.
Yes, sir. Thank you so much for all you do for us. Please, I just want your opinion on NAMET compared to the other health stocks. It's been between $1.81 to $1.91. What do you advise if one has made some profit to sell and maybe buy back? But I'm asking in view of the investment in the health sector, if the potentials that you see in this particular stock. Thank you.
Yeah. Generally, if you look at the healthcare industry, we're seeing a positive sentiment, post-COVID and all, and that will go a long way also to influence every company in that industry. Even as you can see that the big names that are even going international to get cheaper funds to expand, and governments have that intention to kind of also give them more incentive. And CPN, about 2 weeks ago, I said they've extended the interest rate of single interest rate in all these critical sector. They've intervened at the 2023. That is a plus for all the companies there. For me, if you have made profit in the stock, you can also sell and comport. I said earlier that every company in every sector in the market are different characteristics, and also they have different time of their own line. There's a time this stock we just mentioned was around 42 kobo, it rallied as high as around 90 kobo. Also, it came down. Says that there's always time for them. It depends on your investment. If you achieve your target in there, fine. If not, you can still hold on, depend on your investment objective. For the stock, the sector where it is, there's still positive sentiment for the sector, and that will rub on all of them. UK, all the call, Fixing, GSK, and Baker, Pharmadeco, and Nimet. They are the one that also, another thing is that as far that the government is having interest in that sector and they have access to cheaper funds, it's going to also reflect on their number. Check all the numbers that came from them. It's only for them. There's kind of improvement, whether it's marginal, they are all looking up. Before, most of these companies in healthcare, you don't hear about them because they are struggling. You can see that light is coming, to that sector, and we're seeing it manifesting, and that's so that investors in that company will be smiling gradually. This same company mentioned paid 6 kobo the previous year. I think they paid the 7 kobo, and I believe going into the future, when things are unfolding, I see that companies are going up again. But it depends on your objective. If you have made profit, fine, sell and go to that one and come back again and pull a position. Yeah.
Hello, Mr. Ambrose.
Yes, sir.
Still going back to UBA.
Okay.
Personally, assuming investments in UBA and the Access Bank are mutually exclusive, from your personal point of view, which one will you go for? Thank you, sir.
Okay. I will start this way. You know, again, we have different management style. We have different drive for every company. I said earlier that each company has different characteristics. But for me, I will go for Access, as we just said. Why? I've seen Access number, and not only that, Access is becoming like a leader in the industry with their top line. That means if Access can prove their performance even in this last full year, we'll see them growing their dividend the way they did for their interim. You see, Access might go faster, but for UBA is grossly undervalued to me, and it's a potential to grow because it is a new Pan-Africa, the word payment platform that just come and other stuff. UBA, ETI, Access, these are the people that benefit from because they operate outside the shop of Nigeria more than other banks here. For me, I will go for Access, but I can still come back to UBA because I know that they have different characteristics and they have different time for their movement. But for dividend, know that dividend yield, they are paid already 20 kobo. We're expecting that around 80 kobo to 1 naira for them. For Access, if Access you pay anything above 1 naira, good, or 80 kobo again to bring their own to 1 naira 10 kobo, fine. 1 naira 10 kobo because they are paid 30 kobo, they pay 80 kobo 110. It depends, but I know Access will also grow the dividend to come to the class of the top fugars, the top class of Access, what's it called, Zenith Bank and GTB, because that is where it's aiming to be at the top of this one. If you want to be there, you have demonstrated with your entry dividend that you are going somewhere. If they also grow their payout, that would be nice. And if you look at Access, third quarter result earnings, it's not bad. Despite that the third quarter really a bit flat, but the EPS that will support payout is still there. And I told you that this bank has also branched out and we're seeing things. Despite they're investing, I believe Access can move forward if the result also beat market expectation. But I will not cancel UBA. You can buy into UBA now. There's no cost for anything. UBA still look good at this price. UBA at drive cobalt for me is cheap.
Yeah,
Hello,
Mr.
Ambrose.
Ambrose, can I say something, please?
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, I've been raising my hand for the past 10 to 15 minutes. I think you should try and call people to participate, not we being rowdy when we want to make calls or participate.
No problem. When I ask you to, I'm not looking at it just quickly. I've heard you now.
Yeah,
Thank you.
Secondly, I just want to, this is my own opinion regarding the first caller or the first participant talking about investment into the Nigerian market, saying the Nigerian market is a local market. But for me, looking at what is happening all over the world, and right now in the United States, things are becoming so expensive. Inflation is so high. Interest rate is getting high. Even buying petrol here is more expensive. And right now, I believe the investors will try to find somewhere else where they can make more profit. So Nigeria is not a local market, or neither Nigeria is an island where this money won't find its way back to Africa. And if it's finding its way back to Africa, Nigeria is going to be one of the top place to look out to and pushing their money, which will naturally drive up the market. That is just my own opinion anyway. Talking about UCAP, you did mention about their dividend payout. Is there any way I can have access to real-time information? I'm going to send you a message on your WhatsApp on that regarding that. Is there a way I can have a username or password to have access to real-time information regarding a dividend payout, history of the stocks? Is there a way I can have that?
Yeah, it depends. If you need updates from our own side, we can do that. For the real time, it is when they release their result, they not get. But if you log in NFC, you can see what call it the corporate action of company that paid the previous year. As it's coming out, NFC will be updating you. Also, the top information you use also may have their own corporate action. But for real time and corporate action, it's not there now. I don't see it in the market, unless you have to look for the old one. But if you want an update immediately is coming, we can do that, or you can just discuss with me after the class. Then once there's an release in the market about any earnings or their payout, you quickly get alerts on that. Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Welcome.
Hello, Mr. Ambrose.
Yeah, good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon. Nice work.
Let's go.
Sir, I want to know what is your take on Better Glass, sir? Is it a good investment for someone to enter in at this time?
Better Glass at the price has remained a bit kind of, no, for me, it's stagnated for a long time. The price is not moving. And when the stock price is not moving, you can't make good money from that stock. That's why capital market is interesting because it's in trend. It goes up and down. But when the stock is on just a price for a long time, I will not advise because it's not moving. Anything that moves is what gives you money, whether it's moving up or down. But when there's no movement in a stock, I don't advise. But Better Glass has been a bit flat for a long time. Yeah.
Hello, good afternoon.
Yeah, good afternoon.
How are you, Mr. Ambrose?
I'm very fine, sir. How are you doing, sir? How is Abuja?
I'm good. Well, thank God, sir.
Yeah,
I'm just trying to, regarding your view on Total, and I've seen their result, they're unaudited, and they've released their forecast again for first quarter.
First quarter, yes, I've seen it, yeah.
Yeah, and if you look at their cash flow, you can see their cash flow for the unaudited is almost like 62 billion.
No.
Then the cash flow for their first quarter for the forecast is around 20-something billion. So that is like almost 40 billion of variation, of difference. So we know normally if they're even to 200% of the earnings, that's just like 17 billion.
Yes.
So by just that little parameter, can you envisage the price of Total?
Yeah, I've said this in this forum even last week that Total numbers has really come back to its former performance, but this after 2 years they've suffered losses. It's kind of a setback. They are kind of rebounding now or recovering, and you can see that in 2021 the recovery was fast and they come back to their feet. And also don't forget that they're expanding into energy, and that energy also kind of this solar and other stuff is going to be also a plus for Total Nigeria. And the numbers we saw for their full year about 49 point something 49 naira 50 kobo earning per share. I said it here that expecting anything less than 30 naira from Total is good, and that will put the price to around 310 or 320, even surpass it, depending their period. But on their forecast already, it tells you that they want to maintain that tempo of better number were expected in Total. I mean, if you are buying Total for dividend, you are good to go. For capital appreciation, it's a good place, because what you saw in that their cash flow, you are just mentioning is that you saw about 40 for their first quarter. That means it's going to grow up there. They will give you forecast as they go into the full year is about 60 billion, 62 billion, as you just said. That means in second quarter they'll be moving from it, because this is in the first quarter in the new year. That's why it's a bit lower than what you saw for full year. The company operation is okay, and know that anywhere you see well managed company, you know, and also their share issue is very small. That's why they can afford to pay good dividend, and that's why their price is somehow sustainable. And the holding structure also of the company is also part of what is. So even when the numbers are in red, you see the way it came down to a level, but because of that holding structure of the company, that supported the price before the numbers came and pushed the price up.
Thank you.
You're welcome, sir.
Ambrose, I have a question. Yesterday, the World Health Organization announced that 5 African countries have been chosen to produce vaccine, Moderna vaccine. So Nigeria is one of those countries. Are you aware of any of our pharmaceutical companies that will be involved? Is it Fissing? Is it Mia and Baker? Which of them?
That, like we just now, I need to confirm. Before now, I'm hearing the two, Mia and Baker first. Before Fissing is coming up, that's the line discussion. But I will confirm again now that you just give me it now. I know that even before now, federal government are already discussing with Mia and Baker on that. Let's see how it's going to be. Yeah, it has a plus for our healthcare sector. It's going to rub on others, because for now, as we speak, there's a kind of a product business between GSK and Fixing. There's a product line GSK has just contracted to Fixing to do for them, label it in GSK name, and they pay them. That tells you we are seeing a lot of business that will be coming up in that sector. That's why also fixing is a stock that one should have to identify with, and then settle, because naturally they are becoming the leader. They have put GSK behind until GSK come up again. But now, I'll tell you, fixing is the leader in that industry. Why, if the production of vaccine come again, and me and Baker, as the government, also get it, I tell you, me and Baker will be also another one that will be flying. Yeah. I see most of the healthcare companies in Nigeria doing well, but it's a good thing for them. This post pandemic is a plus or kind of blessing for Nigeria healthcare. But before now, no, the government does not look outside of our healthcare, but because of the pandemic, now we're getting attention. Investors, everyone is benefiting from it. It's a good one. Thank you, sir.
Ambrose, please, can you say something about Julius Berger and Custodian, please?
Yeah. For Julius Berger, I will say, if you are in Julius Berger, hold on. We have seen the numbers from Julius Berger already, and we know where they are going on the strength of their number. If you look at the company history, their payout is in order, and if it is sustained, in this financial year ended 2021, we don't expect anything less than 250 or 3 naira from Julius Berger, and that would be a plus. And also, if you look at the activities in that stock, it says that something is happening. Not only that, the company is also diversifying. And I tell you, most of the state government in Nigeria are even giving the company more contract to do those for them, because knowing that this pre-election year, and they want to make sure that they wrap up their construction to present to the people. For that, I see that company will get more, even payment and more contract to get to two things before the election. Most of the politicians also want to use the road to campaign, and if the road is not that, you can't use it to campaign. That means they mobilize most of the US dollar or most of their for their business. For me, I see that company first quarter looking good to support what to solve for their full year. Let's see how it goes. It's a good stock to buy. If you are there, fine. If you want to buy, take action tomorrow. If you are already, improve your position. Yeah. For custodian investment, those companies also, they are like a holding company. They are into different business. If you are there too, go ahead and hold your position. But when the price is above 8 to 850, if you are buying, slow down. But if you can get it between now and 850 for that stock, go ahead. But I know that they paid interim already for 1 dividend, 1 naira. We don't expect anything less than 50 kobo or 60 from them for their final dividend. This period is dividend paying, and this dividend will support the price. That's why I said your dividend payout is another factor that drives price. That is why those that are positioned early are waiting for this fundamental or dividend news to come and put their price up, and they say, but if you are buying now for dividend, you are good to enter. The numbers are not bad, despite that it was a bit flat for third quarter. I think their full year will also look up to give you a dividend that is within that range of 60 to 65 kobo, or 60 to 70 kobo.
Thank you.
You're welcome, sir. Yeah. On this note, we have spent our time. We'll be running up the class. But before I round up the class, I was talked to position for this week. You can see the ones who entered earlier. Yes, if you can see, have access to
Ambrose, there are questions on that board.
Okay, sorry, let me quickly go there. Oh, thank you for your attention. What do you think about Farmadeco? If you're in Farmadeco, I would advise you just, if you are buying now because the price have adjusted, then fine. But if you are there before Bolwa, you want to take your profit and go to that stock. But if you are waiting because of the positive sentiment for the industry, you can still go, depending on your investment objective for Farmadeco. Then what is the fate of that? Yes, if you bought, if you buy into or bought into MTN public offer, you are yet to get your allotment. I think they said before last Friday. If not, latest by next week, you should get it. Those that are bought there, you can see that they are the ones trying to take profit. That's why we are seeing volume in MTN. But there's no cost for allowing. You will get your allotment at the latest next week for MTN. I enter from Adeco and I observe it keep losing now. Most for yes, at this point you can see that your loss is huge here. I would say 40% is huge. And if you want to cut loss now, you need to look for stock that will give you 80% for it to come back to come back to break even. On that note, I would advise that before you sell, you have identify a good stock that will give you that, what I just said now. But if not, because of the sector where it is, I said earlier that each company in this place, the time that is to move from 60 kobo to almost 280, they have their different time for rally. If you don't need the money, if you have lost 40%, I would advise you hold than selling and you go and buy another one, you lose the money. Better you stay here, you can recover, because 40%, when the stock moves, when there's a positive information in the stock, you can easily recover. If you are selling to cut, but if you are around 7%, 10%, I will say cut loss and move. But the loss 40% is high, so on the high side here. Or less, you identify a position that yes can give you. And the market now, I said earlier that every players are looking at between 20 to 25, 30. That means if somebody's made that and is selling, you want to slow down the tempo of that stock going up. Any stock that you are thinking that can make 80% out of it because of what, unless there is extra information that is like what is happening in Honeywell. Now, if you have entered Honeywell before the information comes to the market, came to the market, you would have make some rally. I won't say you should jump into it because the stock is not available. After you have stood at loss and you come not available, where will you? That's why you need to stay patient for that position. What's your opinion on Konoye? Konoye, for me, Konoye is also in a sector that I believe what is unfolding in the economy, and that industry also play out on most of them, even the internal oil. Only that internal oil result was not too attractive, but I say if the price become attractive in that sector, even the one though, but you have to also be careful. But the ones that need to stand in their performance are the Teplat, Total, and others. For that, I see them going up. For Konoye performance is not bad, can still go up, depend on the information to the market. Okay, all right, no problem. Thank you, and God bless you all. Yes, every position in Transcorp. Yes, and the person last question of Transcorp is one of the stock we are even taking in this class. Even number one stock I'm giving out now, because ICS Transcorp pay out of one kobo for a long time. Many people feel that they are tired with that. Well, I believe that Transcorp has what it takes to pay you 3 kobo this time. It depends on them too, but when they grow their payout, it might also move the price of Transcorp. That means if you're buying Transcorp at this point and anything around there, 130, 128, you have made some profit, 20% to 18%, 18 to 20%. You come out, and these earnings can drive it. And their board is meeting. Are they not meeting today, or they're meeting the next week now? Once they approve the result, I tell you, these are not that will send their own to regulator to approve. They talk after the board meeting, you can send the result to the market. That means, I see also kind of activities in terms of volume in Transcorp, and Transcorp is number one stocks we are buying for this week. Yes, or that our time is fast spent. Let's take the stock we are looking at this week to take position. Number one is Transcorp. Another one there is UBA. UBA is number two stock. If you are there already, hold your position. If you want to enter at 8 naira, 55 kobo, or 8 naira 60 kobo, or 8 naira 70 kobo, the buy range, you can still jump in UBA. UCAP is for those that are income investor. You can still enter UCAP. And why the last one is the fixing again. Fixing is a stock to watch. If you're not in fixing, take position in fixing. For those that have Honeywell, who your WAPCO, who your Zenith, who your Julius Berger, and who your Access. These are the ones you have to hold this week to watch to see their results. Who your Access, who your Honeywell, who your WAPCO, who your Julius Berger, and who your Access. If you're not in Julius Berger, you can go ahead, but it's not more what I'm recommending now. I'm recommending now Transcorp, UBA, UCAP, and fixing. Yep. What about Total? Total, if you're in Total, hold on, if you want to buy Total, you are very free, but it's not among the stock we're recommending now. But Total is a good buy also if you want to buy Total. It's a good buy. Because
Mr. Ambrose, please, what do you say about fidelity?
I'm coming. Because when the corporate action of Total comes to the market, it's also change the face of Total. But all these high cap stock, they don't move like others, and also volume to move it. So that thing, that's why if you are buying them, you also have to exercise patience, to see the price move. Thank you. Yes, madam. Your question, ma'am.
I was asking about fidelity.
Yeah?
Fidelity.
Fidelity, I recommended already 2 weeks ago, and I believe most of them in the house are smiling already. You know, it has met our target in terms of those that are in the house. We have made up to 18 to 20%. I won't say it to say because you have possible what I think. No, Fidelity has moved more since I recommended it in this class. For that, you can take board. Only that we're expecting a dividend from them. If you're a dividend income investor, you can still wait for today. But if you're a trader that make around 18 to 20, nothing stops you from coming out. But results also come. I know that they release unaudited. That means between now and 31st March, we're expecting them. They might not be so eager to do the result this February because they have released unaudited in January. But those that are not released unaudited are the ones that want to comply to the rules that must do the results in this February. For all that have done their own in January, they might also be delayed till midweek in March to start releasing their own. But for those that have not released, we're expecting the results to come this month before 1st of March. Okay, thank you all, and God bless you. Again, we're looking at Transcorp, UBA, UCAP, and fixing for the new week. The ones of who we're holding our Honeywell, our WAPCO, Zenith Bank, Los Vega, and Asset. Yeah. Thank you all and enjoy your week. Let somebody pray for us as usual to round up our meeting. A Muslim brother prayed for us when we are opening. I would love a sister or a Christian brother to pray for us.
I will suggest Alaji should pray for us this time around.
Alaji in the house. Alaji in the house. Alaji is not in the house. Somebody else.
Yes, I'm in the house. I'm in the house. Yes. Before I pray, I just want to advise.
I know Alaji is an elder, so you should pray for us.
Yes. Before I pray, I just want to advise members, especially those who trade online. Please, when you see momentum in the market, don't be carried away. Ask your broker what is going on. I had a client who sold over 2 million of UCAP on Friday because he saw the momentum. He didn't ask to know what is going on UCAP. Had it been he was told, he wouldn't have sold 2 million. So my advice, please, when you see the momentum in the market, ask your broker what is going on this stock, so that the broker will guide you, so that you don't just part away and you start lamenting. That is my sincere advice to those who trade online. They see momentum without knowing what is behind the momentum. Always call your broker to find out what is going on about this stock. So they will inform you and let you know, so that you know you take the right decision. So that is my sincere advice. In the name of Allah, the benefactor, the merciful, may Allah guide us. And for the Zoom that we have done today, may the knowledge be with us and be able to benefit more in this capital market for weeks to come. Thank you.
Thank you, Father. Enjoy your weekend. God bless you all. Bye.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah.
Thank you, Mr. Ambrose. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for the second.
Thank you.
Thank you, Ambrose.
Yeah, thank you, ma. Enjoy your weekend.
Ambrose, thank you, sir.
Yeah, you're welcome, sir.
Thank you, Ambrose.
You're welcome, ma.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Enjoy your weekend.
Thank you, Ambrose.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah.
God bless.
Yeah. Enjoy your day.